Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of business studies. Today we will be continuing the informal communication types we completed last class. Today we will be going to learn continuation the barriers of effective communication. In that we have already completed semantic barriers, psychological barrier. Now we will be proceeding with organizational barriers and personal barriers. Psychological barrier, it was very important student because nowadays generation is getting a very bad way of communication just because of this psychological barriers only. When people are not in the sense at the present moment when the communication is going on, they will understand something different. Their mind will be preoccupied by some else conversations. Because of that they cannot understand what the communication is going on. Organizational barriers, when we talk student, factor related to organizational structure, authority, relationship, rules, regulation may act as barrier to effective communication. Some of the organizational barriers are organizational policy. If organization policy does not support free flow of information, it may result in barriers. For example, in centralized organization, one of the information remain at top level only. People at lower level may not be to communicate freely in centralized organization. Rules and regulation. Rigid rules and regulations may also create barriers in effect for barriers. Following rules may lead to red tapeism, delay of action and delay movement of information. Rules and regulations, so that is the way by it is creating because some of the time due to some of the strict rules people not able to communicate what they want to communicate and what is needed to be communicated. So that way we can see there it can be a barrier. Sometimes because of rules red tapeism happens, means delay in decision making, delay in passing of information can be happened. So that can be because of that can be a barrier also some of the time. Status difference. When you are having different status, sometimes the people working at higher level do not believe in the information provided by the lower level employees. As they feel how would know about my job and who is he to give me suggestions. Complex organization, when it is not even the information passes through various levels of, there can be screening or filtering of information at different levels. For example, while giving the feedback, the subordinate filter all the negative points of highlight only the positive side. Okay, then it will be a complex organizational facilities. In large organization, free and effective flow of communication is possible only when some facilities like social get together, complaint box, task force, etc. exist. In absence of such facilities, there can be delay and barrier to effective communication. So these are the various problems or organizational barriers which we are getting at the time of communication. Personal barriers. Certain personal factors of sender and receiver may influence the free flow of information. If you are having a discrimination just from the starting, you are not trusting each other, there is a gap between the manager and the employees, they do not respect each other, they do not listen to each other, then that type of communication barrier what they will be having at the time of communication is known as personal barriers. Certain personal factors of sender and receiver may influence the free flow of information. Some of the personal barriers are lack of confidence of superior in his subordinates. If superiors have confidence and trust in their subordinates, then they pay no attention to the advice, opinions or suggestions of the manager. So that time they can create a barrier. Superiors cannot trust the employees, employees give any suggestion, they will not be listening to them. Lack of incentive. If there is no incentive for communication, then subordinate may not take initiative to give suggestions. For example, if there is no reward given for giving some good suggestions, if employees will take no initiative to give good suggestions. Okay, so this is lack of incentive. Sometimes if there is no incentive for communication, the subordinate will not participate in decision making. They will not be listening what they have to do. So this is just because of incentive problem. That is also a personal barrier. They are taking incentive so personal that they don't want to listen. If the salary will increase, if they will get money, then only they will listen to the organization. That way they show. Fear of authority. Sometimes superiors conceal and hide information if they fear of losing the authority over the subordinate. So this can be a type of organizational barriers. Unwillingness to communicate. Sometimes employees are unwilling to communicate with superiors if they feel it may negatively affect their own interests. They don't want to talk and communicate with the employees. Then that time it can be a barrier because of their personal reason. They are not communicating every information which is needed to be communicated with the employees. So that can be a type of barriers that it will come in personal barriers. Barriers to effective communications. If you see the flow chart, it will be easy for us to distinguish between various types of barriers and the categories, the reasons of barriers existing. Improving communication effectiveness. This is the very important topic. After this will the last of the chapter. How we have learned what are the barriers, problems of communication. Now we will be learning how we can make the communication to be effective. All organizations face barriers to effective communication. By using following measures, they can overcome such barriers. Clarify the idea before communication. In the first place, we must be clear about what we want to communicate. The message can be conveyed properly only if it is clearly formulated in the mind of the communicator. The message should be encoded in direct and simple language so that the receiver will not face any difficulty to understand the same. Communication according to the need of the receiver. When we are doing any type of communication with the receiver, we must see that there must be interest of the receiver in that particular topic. Whenever we communicate, we must keep in mind the needs of the receiver of the message, or it should be our effort to see that whatever message or information we send across must be of value to receiver. This will make receiver more receptive. Sender must select the words according to the education levels of receivers. Consult others before communicating. Before communicating the message, it is needed that it is advisable to consult others. Effective communication is the responsibility of all the person in the organization, or has all have to work towards a common goal. If plans are developed with consultation and involvement of the subordinate, then it can be having a good impact of communication. Use of proper language, tone and contents of messages. For an effective communication, the words, tone and symbol used in message must be selected very carefully. It must have the sense. The language used should not offend the sentiments of listener. The symbols used in the message must be known to the listener. Proper feedback. Feedback helps to know the effect or success of communication given by the sender. Communication is complete only when the message is understood by the receiver. We can never know whether the receiver has understood the message or not unless we will get the feedback. So every communication we must try that feedback must be given or received so that it will be having a complete sense of communication. Feedback also provide opportunity for suggestion and criticism. Communication for the present as well as for the future. Communication must meet the requirement, the need of present organization as well as for future organization. There must be consistency in the past, present and future communication. Follow-up communication. There should be proper follow-up of the information given by the manager to subordinate. This follow-up helps to remove hurdles, misunderstanding of instruction given by manager to subordinate in the future period of time. With the present communication to be successful, future communication success also needed. So for that, follow-up plays a very important role. If the subordinate are listening to the manager now, definitely they will be able to understand the future needs of the managers. Good listener. The next way to make effective communication is the sender must listen to the receiver's words. Alternatively, on the other hand, receiver must also listen with due attention. Patient and attentive listening solve many problems. So there must be good listener category for having a good type of communication. Open mind. Open mind shows that the parties to communication must have open mind. What we want to make them understand, they must have the free mind to understand that. They should not try to withhold the information for their personal interest. They should not react before receiving and listening the full message. Nowadays, it is quite frequent. Before listening the full information, people just go on something else reacting. So that must not be there, because that makes the communication to be incomplete. Good listener plays a very vital role to the effective communication and to the life of the people, because if we will listen to someone else, definitely the other person will also respond to us in a good way. So good listening is needed not only at important time, but also in that moment that when the information is not so important for us, that time also we must try to understand the information, we must try to listen the information so that it will be having a good impact. Completeness of message. A message is effective only when it is given completely. The receiver should not be felt guessing. It may lead to misunderstanding. A complete message carries all necessary facts and figures. So that completeness of message must be there. Then only the communication will be effective. So you can see the flowchart, a tree of improving effective communication. This is needed not only for our learning and our for syllabus, but also it is needed if we want our communication to be better in the society and in the organization where we will be going. So for that, this step you have to remember, not only from study point of view but also from the learning society's point of view. So okay, now in the last this chapter gets completed, directing. The Monday onwards I will be going to start the new chapter. But before that, I want to remind you once again that, as I already said in the class also, for business studies and economics project, please select the project topics and send me through the WhatsApp those who are taking the online classes, because offline mode students had already given the topic and they are forwarding with the project. Those students who are sitting at home and taking the classes from home, better please explain me the product name which you want to take and start your project immediately, as guidance is given in the project details which is provided through the way of syllabus. Please see that particular economics project topics also given in the syllabus of economics. Refer each topic, and as good you can provide the topic in which you can work, please forward it to me so that I can also write and keep it, and no duplication of project will be there. Student cannot make the project by their own selection. They have to pass it to me, and then only if I will suggest them, I will give them permission, then they can make. That is because if two projects will be of same type, then one of the student project will be cancelled. So it is better give me the project topic name and then start immediately the project. You just take the help from me how to start the project and how to manage it. Other details more often it is given in the project syllabus which I have provided through the way of PDF in the group. See the topics. In that the whole concept is given. Just go through it. Any help required, you can ask to me. I will be helping. Thank you for the class. Have a nice day. And some of the topics are for the, like for example, first of all you select the product, and one thing important which is left out, that the product, when I am saying, it must be your own company. It must not be of some another company like KFC and the other the company which is existing in the market, that you cannot take as your product. You have to take the product after learning 5 competitors product detail. You have to search 5 competitors, see their details, the product if you can make. If you are having any interest in that product you can take, but you have to name the but you have to give me the name of the product, then only you can make the project to be continued. And after that, first select as I had taught you marketing management chapter, first introduction will be there, then the marketing mix, 4 parts has been divided: product mix, place mix, price mix, and the promotion mix. According to the particular chapter topics mix, you have to divide the chapter, and then you have to write the topics, and you have to make it complete to be done. So please follow the rules, follow the procedure which is given to you, and then make the project. Thank you.